Hey there, welcome back to Comfy Cat Yoga. My name is Phoenix and we're on to day 14 of our Mellow Movement Challenge. Today we're going to be trying something a little harder. We're going to be doing a Yoga Sculpt class. So this is going to really activate muscles, promote muscle growth, and promote overall stability and health. Your heart rate might go up, so go ahead and grab a water bottle along with our other props for today, and we'll get started. As we usually do, we're going to start in a nice, comfortable seated position. We're going to roll the shoulders back, keeping the posture nice and tall, and bringing awareness to our breath. The most important part of our class today is to make sure that we're breathing the entire time. Especially when we're holding difficult poses, it's really easy to hold your breath. So we're going to take a couple moments to bring attention to that. Calm the mind, relieve some anxiety, remove any jitters you might be feeling. Making those inhales and exhales nice and long. If you can, to keep your heart regulated throughout this entire practice, I would encourage you to breathe in and out through your nose. If you are particularly out of breath, then breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, but try to breathe in and out through the nose since that promotes a regular heartbeat. Now that we're a little bit more grounded, we're going to grab our towel, belt, whatever you have on hand. So this can be your towel, your belt, even like a scarf, that works too. We're just going to start warming up our shoulders and our neck before we move into some more strenuous exercises. So we're going to inhale, bringing the arms up nice and straight, holding our band nice and straight, sending it behind the head, keeping the posture nice and tall, stretching out the shoulders in the back here. Being sure we're breathing in here and out. Keeping the breath nice and regular. Just like that. Feeling the stretch, seeing if you can go a little bit further before coming back down, nice and slow. We're going to start bringing this around in a circle around our head. So we're going to lift the right hand so it's at an angle, followed by the left, which will go behind our head before coming back down. Kind of like we're rowing a boat almost. Trying to keep those arms nice and straight. Feeling the stretch switch from one shoulder to the other. Warming them up, getting them nice and toasty. Awesome job. We're going to switch directions, so we're going to lift that left hand, followed by the right, going in a circle, rowing our boat the other way. Excellent work. We're going to bring our band behind our head. It's going to be right at the high point on the back of your head. So it's not resting on your neck or in that groove at all. We're going to lean forward, allowing some pressure to come into our neck here. Taking a couple breaths before coming back up. Great job. We're going to drop our right ear to our right shoulder, letting our head be nice and heavy, feeling that stretch here. Not forcing our head towards our shoulder, just gently dropping it. Breathing normally. Then dropping the chin to the chest. feeling a nice stretch in the back of the neck here. And then our left ear to our left shoulder, just like before, letting the head be heavy, not deliberately pushing it down towards the shoulder, just letting it be nice and heavy here. Awesome job. Go ahead and come back up to center. We're going to bring our arms up. We're going to bend our left arm so our palm is resting on our back. We're going to grab that elbow and try to pull it towards our head. Getting a stretch here in the armpit, maybe a little bit in the back there. You may lean your head forward a little bit if that feels better to you, or keep it as straight as you can. Keep the back posture nice and straight, regardless of what you do with your head. Breathing here. Bringing the left arm around the front, we're going to grab it with our right, pulling it towards our chest, pulling the shoulder over to the side. Getting a nice stretch in the front here now. Letting this hand relax. Repeating on the other side, maybe stretching in between here, letting those shoulder blades pinch in the back, arms going straight back before bringing that right hand up, grabbing the elbow and pulling it towards the back of our head. Getting that nice armpit stretch. You may feel the stretch other places. It may not even be the most intense in your armpit. Everybody's body is different, so stretches are going to be different for every body. Go ahead and release it, bringing it around the front, grabbing it with that left arm. Go ahead and release. Pinching the shoulders back, sending the arms back, getting a nice stretch here. We're going to roll our neck. So we're going to make large circles with our nose, letting our neck release, bringing that nose over to each shoulder and down to the chest, getting a full range of motion. And then switching, going the opposite direction here, still keeping that nice full range of motion, allowing the neck to release, and then coming back to center. Great job. We're going to come into a tabletop position. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, making sure those back feet are nice and parallel, flat against the mat. We're going to bring our right arm up and thread it through the left, getting a nice twist here, resting the shoulder and the side of the head on the mat, getting an upper spine stretch here. Grounding through that standing hand. And then coming back up, We're going to send the left arm out, thread it under the right. Nice stretch here. Allowing the shoulders to release, the spine to release. Getting warmed up here. Go ahead and come back up. We're going to go ahead and move into some cat-cows, realigning yourself as you need to. We're going to inhale, dropping the stomach, bringing the gaze up. Exhale, curling the spine, pushing through the shoulders. Inhale, dropping the stomach, bringing the gaze up. Exhale, curling the spine, pushing through the shoulders. Repeat a couple more times with your own breath. Waking up the spine and the shoulders here. Wherever you are, go ahead and do it one more time. After your next exhale, coming to a neutral tabletop position again. We're going to stay here for a little bit, but we're going to start moving into our more active poses. So these will be engaging our core, our arms, and our legs, and a little bit of our glutes as well. So from our tabletop position, we are going to lift our right hand up nice and straight. And then we're going to lift our left leg, pointing those toes back into a bird dog here. Remembering to engage through the core, engage the glutes to keep that back leg up nice and straight, engaging the hamstrings, and stabilizing through the two standing legs and arms. Remembering to breathe. On your next exhale, bend the elbow, bend the knee, connect them together. Take a couple breaths here. Before sending them back up. Nice and strong. Bending that elbow, bending the knee, touching, couple breaths. Letting it go, straightening it out. Breathing. One more time, bend the elbow, bend the knee, connecting them together. Sending them out. And relax, coming back into our tabletop position, wiggling it out if you need to. Remember to grab any water you need to at any time. We're going to repeat on our other side. So realigning our tabletop, might have come out of alignment. We are going to lift the left arm, lift the right leg, pointing those toes, engaging the glutes. Holding for a few breaths. On your next exhale, bending the elbow, bending the knee, crunching in, touching them together. A couple breaths here. Sending them out. Engaging those glutes. Crunching it in. You're doing great. If you need to take a break, go ahead. Sending it out. Crunching it in. This is the last one. Sending it out. A couple more breaths. You're almost there. And relaxing. Great job. Hopefully you're feeling that in your glutes and your abs, maybe even in your arms a little bit here. We are going to curl our toes under, straightening our arms out, sending that booty up into a puppy pose, pressing the chest towards the mat, stretching out the shoulders, stretching out the back. Once you feel like your breath is re-regulated, go ahead and come back up. Back into our tabletop position, just for a moment here. From our tabletop, we are going to keep those toes curled under, sending the hips up and back into our downward dog, pressing into the shoulders, making a V with our body. Then walking, hopping, or floating the feet forward, coming into a forward fold. In our forward fold, grabbing the back of our calves, our elbows, under our feet, letting the arms hang, whatever feels best to you. Trying to bring that chest to the top of the thigh, decompressing the spine, decompressing the shoulders, letting the neck hang heavy, letting the head hang heavy. Completely decompressing the torso here. On your next inhale, we're going to start curling the spine up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Coming up into Tadasana. Awesome job. I'm going to invite you to grab your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use any rectangular item, so like a big book would even work here. Just anything that is square shaped. You could even use a Tupperware. We're going to grab our block here. We're going to bend our knees, sending our hips back in kind of a deep squat here. Keeping our feet pointing straight. We don't want them coming out to the sides. Keeping them nice and straight. Keeping our back nice and straight. And from here, we're going to inhale, lifting our block above our head into our chair pose. this is a little too difficult for you, you can lower the block, keeping it in front of you instead. It's whatever feels best to you. So again, inhaling, bringing that block up. You could even alternate this if you'd like a little bit more movement in your practice. So on your exhale, letting the block come down, and on your inhale, bringing it back up. Great job. Holding this for a few more seconds. On your next exhale, coming up, go ahead and drop your block for right now. Coming back up into our Tadasana. Hopefully you're feeling it a little bit, feeling nice and toasty. Take a water break if you need to. You're doing awesome. Take some time to re-ground your breath, resettle your heartbeat. Remember what I said earlier. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. That will settle your heartbeat the fastest. Awesome job. From our Tadasana, we're going to move into some balancing poses. So there are a few variations here. You can use your block right next to whatever foot you're balancing on, resting your toes on there. Just making sure you're not pressing into a joint, making sure that this balancing knee is coming out to the side in line with your hips. If you don't want to use a block, you can rest your toes on the mat, resting the heel right above the ankle, resting it on your calf, or bringing it all the way up to your thigh. It's just whatever makes you feel the most balanced. So we're going to start on this side with our left leg coming up. So we're going to lift it nice and controlled here, keeping it at a nice 90-degree angle for a moment while we find our balance. Once we find our balance, bringing it to our block or whatever variation is going to work for you today. For me, that's my calf. Mentally pushing this knee out to the side so it's in line with our hips, grounding through that standing foot, all 4 points, balancing with our toes, shifting our weight as we need to. Once we feel balanced here, bringing the hands to heart center and inhaling, interlacing the fingers, index fingers pointing up, coming into our full tree. If you can't quite do this today, that's okay. You can also tee out your arms or keep them at heart center, whatever is going to make you feel the most balanced. We're just focusing on some stability here. Also some leg strength, holding our whole weight or most of it on that standing leg. Remember to breathe here. If you hold your breath in standing poses, you are more likely to fall out of them. If you do find that you are falling out of your balancing poses, that's okay. Just try to imagine the 4 points in your foot, on your pinky toe, your big toe, and then 2 in your heel. Maybe find a point in the room to focus on. that can also help you maintain your balance. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center, gently releasing that foot, pointing and flexing the standing foot, releasing any tension it might have built up from keeping you stable. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So from Tadasana, picking whatever variation is going to work, we are going to lift our right foot, finding our balance, keeping it at that 90-degree angle. Once we do find our balance, having it go to whatever position is going to work for us, whether that's with a block or not. Once you find your balance here, you're grounding through all 4 points of your foot. You can bring your hands to heart center. And then on your next inhale, interlacing the fingers, index fingers pointing up, coming into our full tree. You might find you're more balanced on one side than the other. It's totally fine. We as humans are generally imbalanced. So usually our dominant side is going to be the easier one to balance on. But if you're left-handed like me and you've done things the right-handed way for most of your life, you might find that balancing on the right is easier, and that is the case for me. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. Ground through the standing foot. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring those hands to heart center and gently drop the foot. Don't just let it slam onto the ground. Want to keep it nice and controlled, engaging muscles, then pointing and flexing that standing foot. Coming back into Tadasana. Awesome job. Go ahead and move your block out of the way if you were using it. Take a couple grounding breaths here. From our Tadasana, we're going to inhale, bringing the hands up, letting them cross over one another, and hinging at the hips. We're going to fold forward. Once again, you can let those arms hang limp, grabbing the back of your calves, grabbing under your feet. Just don't pull on a joint. Maybe grabbing your elbows. Decompressing the torso, letting it be nice and heavy. Making sure that your shoulders are not engaged. From here, we're going to bend the knees as much as we need to plant the palms onto the mat, walking our feet back, coming back into downward dog. From our downward dog, we are going to lift our right foot, pointing it in the air. You can also bend your knee here if keeping it out straight like this is not in the cards for you. It's okay. We all build strength. Go at whatever level you happen to be. Breathe, engaging the glutes, keeping that leg up, pushing through the shoulders. On your next exhale, bring that straightened leg up and through, coming into low lunge. In our low lunge, you can keep that back knee up, or you can drop it onto the mat, whatever level you happen to be at. For more advanced, you'll keep it up. For less advanced, you'll keep it down. You can rest your forearms on your thigh like I am doing here. You can rest them on the mat. You can even bring your block over here and balance there. If you're feeling particularly strong, you can lift the torso. Just letting our legs do our work today. Feeling the hamstring and the quad engaged here. Making sure we're breathing. Dropping that back knee to the mat, flattening the back of the foot. We're going to fold over, bringing our fingertips back and bringing that front foot back, coming into a tabletop. Take a couple breaths here, as much time as you need. Realigning yourself, recentering yourself. We're going to curl those back toes under, walk the hands forward just a little bit, and push the hips up and back into our downward dog, so we can repeat that on the other side. Lifting our left leg this time, nice and strong up into the air. You can bend that knee, whatever feels best to you, whatever's engaging your muscles. Hold it up nice and strong, pushing through the shoulders before bringing it down and in. Coming into our low lunge on the other side. Once again, you can rest the forearms here. You can rest the fingertips, bringing the hands to a block. Whatever feels best to you. If you're feeling particularly strong, bringing that torso all the way up. Whatever feels best. Engaging the quads, the hamstrings, the calves. Making sure we're breathing. Going ahead and dropping that back knee, flattening the back of the foot, bringing the fingertips down to the mat. Bringing that front leg to the back into our tabletop. Awesome job. Take a few grounding breaths here. From our tabletop, just like we did before, bringing those hands forward, curling the back toes under, pushing back and up, back into our downward dog. Really pushing through the shoulders this time. Making that V with our body. From our downward dog, we're going to drop our forearms to the mat, coming into a dolphin, bringing more demand for strength to our shoulders, trying to keep that nice V, still pushing through our shoulders into our forearms now. And from our dolphin, pushing back up into our downward dog. Pushing through the shoulders, grounding the breath. Before bringing the weight of the torso really, really, really slowly forward. Bringing the weight over our hands, walking those back feet as much as we need to come into a plank. From our plank, we're going to slowly, on our next exhale, bend the elbows, keeping them nice and close to the body. Chaturanga here. Till we land on our mat, flattening the backs of the feet, pushing up into our cobra, locking the elbows out. Taking a few breaths here. You guys did awesome. We have one more strength pose after this, and then we'll start our cool down. Go ahead and exhale, coming back down to the mat. Going to build some lower back strength here, keeping the backs of the feet nice and flat. We're going to straighten our arms out, and then on our inhale, we're going to use our back strength, and we're going to pinch our shoulders together to bring our chest up off of the ground in a seal. This pose is a little weird because you're breathing into the ground, which can be a little disconcerting at first. It also makes breathing a little harder. So listen to your body. If this is causing you to panic, go ahead and skip this. Try to stay strong through the back and through the shoulders, keeping the chest up off the ground, continuing to breathe. On your next exhale, go ahead and relax. And then however you need to, roll onto your back, coming into a laying down position. We're going to start into our cool down now. So we are going to cross our left leg over our right. We're going to bend our right leg. So now both of them are up. Our left leg is crossed over the right. And we're just going to rock nice and slowly, one side to the other, like a pendulum. Going with our breath. Gently releasing tension in the back. Maybe following your breath here. Whatever feels best to you. Just try to keep this movement nice and slow. The next time you're in the center, go ahead and drop that bent leg, straightening them both back out before crossing the right over the left and then bending the left. And then just as before, going like a pendulum, rocking the legs back and forth, bringing a gentle stretch into the lower spine, the hips. Going nice and slow, maybe following your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Is it calming down? Awesome job. The next time you're in the center, go ahead and stop, dropping both of the legs nice and straight onto the mat here. Bring your attention to your breath. Go ahead and let those arms rest to your sides, palms facing up. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze, coming into Savasana. Absorbing your practice, allowing muscles to relax, thanking your body for its strength, thanking yourself for showing up for yourself today. When you're ready, gently come back to the real world. Taking deep breaths, wiggling the fingers, the toes, maybe rolling onto your side, before coming up to a nice comfortable seated position. Thank you for letting me lead your practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions or you want to tell me where you felt it, what you'd like to see next, be sure to leave that in the comments down below. I'll be sure to reply. Hope to see you next time. Namaste, go with peace, and we'll see you later.